Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn history today, Olmecs and Chavins, and after we've done that, we're going to do Neckstretching. And if you participate in the Neckstretching, then it's better the Olmecs. Olmecs and Chavins. People began farming in Mesoamerica, that is in Mexico and Central America, 9,000 years ago, almost as long ago as in the Middle East. Okay, in Mexico and Central America, that is called Mesoamerica also, do we say? And there 9,000 years ago there was a farming started. Was it written? Yes, farming. And that was around at the time when it was also started to be done in the Middle East, in Arabia. By 2000, before Christ, so over 4,000 years ago, there were permanent villages and extensive farms growing corn, beans, squash, and other crops. Okay, 9,000 years ago, people started to do farming in Central America and Mexico, that is Central America, in Mesoamerica. And 2,000 before Christ, so during the time of a high Egyptian, there were a lot of villages and big farms, and they were growing corn, beans, squash, and other crops. And then 3,000 years ago, there was a remarkable culture developed by the Olmecs in western Mexico. Okay, there's Mexico, there's western Mexico, and there were the Olmecs. And they had a big, remarkable culture. The Olmecs had a counting system and calendar, but no writing system, so little is known about them. Okay, they had a calendar, and they were counting numbers, but they did not write down, so we can't read about them. The ruins of a huge Olmec pyramid have been discovered at La Venta in Tabasco, Mexico. Okay, there is Mesoamerica, that is Mexico and Central America. And 9,000 years ago, people started to do farming. 4,000 years ago, there were big villages with big farms and a lot of agriculture. And 3,000 years ago, there were the Olmecs living in western Mexico. And they had no writing system, but they were counting and had a calendar. And they had built a pyramid at La Venta in Tabasco, Mexico, which had been, in the modern times, made its discovery. The Olmecs carved huge, what is it even called? A quote. No, but it's not a quote. Whatever. This is in quote marks of the quote. Baby face heads from basalt with enormous skill, apparently with only stone chisels since they had no metal. Okay. The Olmec heads were carved from huge blocks of volcanic rock weighing up to 14 tons. No one knows how they were moved. That seems to be actually a photograph. Okay, from basalt. Basalt is with stone. Okay, they were carving faces, human faces into stones. And they're standing still together, stands today there. And 4,000 years ago, there were huge religious sites being built all over what is now Peru in South America. Okay, there's South America, and there were people building religious sites. And 3,000 years ago, there were the Chavin civilization, spread from the religious center of Chavin de Huantar in the Peruvian mountains. Okay, there were the Chavins, and they were living there somewhere in Peru. And these were probably the people who built large religious sites. And the Olmecs were doing these carved faces, but no writing, in western Mexico. In La Venta, Tabasco, Mexico. And around 2,500 years ago, around 2,500 years ago, America's first true city developed at Teotihuacan, with vast pyramids and palaces. Okay, the first is actually the first city, because we could do it as a video. If someone asks what is the first city of America, it would be Teotihuacan, around 2,500 years ago. The vast pyramids and palaces. Teotihuacan may have been the world's biggest city in the year 300, with a population of over 250,000. I'm wondering a little bit if that may have been now. We think that is good possible, but we're not completely sure, or just. No, I'm not sure if we can get that right. Or just one of the biggest cities. I am wondering how big Rome was at that time. And if it was in China something. But it was certainly when one. My question is basically, are we pretty sure it was that one, but we are not that sure about how big the population was in Rome or in China? Or is it just a little assumption? Because we want to do it as a video. The true city, America, and the biggest city also. I'm pretty sure that Rome was bigger previously. I heard that Rome had a bigger population around 0. But it could be that Rome's population had sunk then already. I know that Rome's population was very, very much down then in the first millennium and the second. In the first 90% of the second millennium. The main street at Teotihuacan near Mexico City is known as the Avenue of the Dead. It was originally 2.5 kilometers long. Now here, another photograph. Okay, that is in this big city, Teotihuacan. And that is known as the Path of Death, or what this was. 2.5 kilometers long was it. And these are, maybe it's not visible, there seem to be a lot of tourists just walking there and looking at these remains of these buildings. Okay. We're gonna do a video about that. What are we even doing here? Neckstretching. Teotihuacan was Teotihuacan was 1,500 years ago the first city in America built, and with a population of 250,000, it was one of the largest in the world at that time. It was one of the largest. And that is in, we don't know, we didn't say it exactly, near Mexico City, in Mexico. Okay, I have a second camera, I'm going to start it. The oldest city of America, or first city in America, in the Americas. Teotihuacan. 1,500 years ago. Let's try and look what happens. The first city in the Americas was Teotihuacan. 1,500 years ago was it built around. It had a population of 250,000, one of the largest cities at the time. Cities at the time. Do I want to say anything else? Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan, 1,500 years ago, was built near Mexico City in Mexico. And it had a population of 250,000. It was maybe even the largest city at that time. And it had vast palaces and, what is the other thing? Pyramids. Teotihuacan was the first real city built in the Americas. It is near Mexico City in Mexico. And it had a population of 250,000, and it had vast pyramids and palaces built. And that is according to Miles Kell's World History, page 77. I will do the best video, but I don't have much time, so I'm just going to stop the camera. And we will do another Neckstretching. If you hear history, we're going to the next part of history, we will do another Neckstretching. If you participate in the Neckstretching, then it's better than risk. Go and sit and stand, and we're doing a hydro tower. And stretch the fingertips as far as you can. Also higher, and stretch as far as you can with the fingertips. And stretch as far as you can. And stretch again with the fingertips. Next exercise. Now stretch again. Fingertips as far as you can. Not just to the side, but also back. Stretch as far as you can with the fingertips. And another round. Stretch as far as you can. Let's do Buzzard. Fast. Feet standing together, arms up to a T, and pretend to fly like Buzzard does it. Flies a little elephant. And the next exercise. Having the legs standing, go to standing. First, feet together, the bodies off the side, breathe in, the arms up. Out, up, arms to the side. Again, in the arms up. And out, up, and to the other side. Again in. Out and down. Now the feet standing shoulders wide apart. We're breathing in, we tall up. Shoulders back. And breathe out, bring the head over to one side. And the chin down to the clavicle. Breathe again in. And out, lift the gaze. And turn the head over to the other side. Breathe again in. And out, bring the chin down to the clavicle. Breathe again in, lift the gaze. Turn the head back into the middle and over to the first side again, and the chin down to the clavicle. Breathe again in. And breathe halfway out, and then make a circle over to the other side. Breathe again in. And halfway out, and bring the head in a circular movement over to the other side, and back into the middle. Now the feet are standing together. We're breathing in, lifting the arms up, the crab in the morning. Breathe out the arms down, drop shoulder blades together. Lift the chest up to the sky. And breathe again in, the arms up. And breathe out, draw again the shoulder blades together. Again in, the arms up. And out of the arms down. Now the third one, breathe in, lift the arms up. And breathe out and lean back. Breathe in into the middle. And breathe out, lean again back. Breathe in for a minute. And breathe out, lean over to one side. Breathe again in. And out over to the other side. Breathe again in. Out, cross the arms with the 20 fingers and reach high with screw. And breathe out, reach in front, all the way back with drill. Breathe again in, the arms up. Now cross the arms with the 20 fingers, reach high. And breathe out, reach in front, hold of the back. Again in, the arms up. And out, lean back, open the arms wide, the sky hugger. Again in, the arms up. And breathe out again, the sky hugger. Turn the arms up. And out and down. And now the cashew. Intertwine the fingers behind the back. Shoulders back, tall up. Breathe in. And breathe out, bring the head over to one side. And the chin down to the clavicle. Breathe again in. And out and pull the hands down to the floor. Breathe again and lift the head. And turn it over to the other side. Shoulders back, breathe in. And out, chin down to the clavicle. And pull the hands down to the floor. Again, lift the gaze. And we're doing the stretch of Venus in the front of the fingers and bring them over to one side. Breathe again in. Out, turn the head over to one side. And the chin down to the clavicle. Breathe again in. And out, pull the arm and shoulder down. Breathe again and lift the gaze. Out and over into the middle. Go to the other side. Bring also the arms over to the other side. Breathe again in. And out, chin down to the clavicle. Pull the arm and the shoulder down. Breathe again and lift the gaze. Back under. And let's do the eagle swings. Feet are standing together. Breathe in, lift the arms up. Breathe out, the arms down. Again in, the arms up. Out, the arms down. Again in, the arms up. Bring the hands to touch and breathe out and let the hands slowly down. That was the neck stretching. I thank you very much. Until the next time.